one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Winning has a price. And leadership has a price.
It ain't personal, man. But you ain't shit, man. You gotta get the fuck out of here, man. Motherfucking Bradbury, I asked you, was you ready, man? You looked me in my motherfucking eyes and said you was ready. I didn't know what you was talking about. You was ready to go the fuck on vacation.
Bro, look at us. Back on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I saw something last night. Jay Gruden was going at his RG3 and Jay Gruden got into it last night or whatever. If you want to call it that. I'm confused by one of his tweets, and maybe I'm just not in the loop. Give me the loop. Outside. Okay, anyways, I'm confused on his tweet. He tweeted at another one of his players who said, "Can you just effing disappear?" And Jay Gruden tweeted at him, "I are a punter. Be quiet." And Pat McAfee and them boys hyping it up on his show. I don't understand what I'm be honest, bro. I don't even understand the joke. I thought maybe Jay Gruden was drunk or something when he typed that. Like, I don't know, man. I don't understand some of the stuff that go on the Pat McAfee show because they white guys. They're a bunch of white guys with a bunch of white humor and shit like that. So I understand Pat McAfee like to dip his toes in the black community, but when they go full white, I don't understand. So, I was confused. I thought we was gonna get some clarity when I looked at them talk about that. I was very much wrong. Anyways, how is everybody doing out there today, man? I hope you're having a dope day, dope afternoon, dope night, whatever point in time you're watching this. I appreciate you for watching this. Listen, like, subscribe, share. Join me again on another episode. I appreciate you for stopping here tonight, though, because you could have been anywhere else in the world. But you chose to be here with me today, and I appreciate you for that. I really do. We got a lot of football to talk about. Before we get into football, though, because I just want to say something. I just want to say something. I do not like the WWE. If you've been following my channel for a while, you might have known that I did. I used to do wrestling with Saint, a show. I don't do it no more. I was talking to somebody last night about like why I don't watch wrestling anymore. And I full blown just don't watch it anymore. Like I don't watch the highlights, anything like that. I just don't really watch wrestling. Professional wrestling was never something that I was going to just watch willy-nilly, because you got to find the right organization, because most professional wrestling is just professional white guys fighting each other. But that is very much what the WWE has become. And so that's why I don't watch WWE. We've probably never, I'm not going to say never, but I don't see it likely that we'll do another wrestling show anytime soon in the foreseeable future, because I don't watch a product, so I'm not going to talk about the product. And instead of making hate videos or hate watching a product, I'm not going to waste my time, my energy, and my mental capacity doing nothing like that. I would just say, if you love the WWE and whatnot, cool for you. You're probably a white person. And it's going to sound, to a white man, he ain't going to like what I'm about to say. But if you regular individual who watch wrestling and don't watch it from a white man's point of view, then everything I'm finna say to you is nothing but facts. The WWE has become the white man factory. I thought, I'm not going to say Vince McMahon is perfect. It's times where he was running the company and I stopped watching. I don't think that was because of how bad the product was. Well, nope. I stopped watching during the John Cena era because I hated watching John Cena. So I will say that. It came a point in time where I could no longer watch John Cena. So I just stopped watching wrestling. Eventually, I started watching it again. Well, we are now on a new break from wrestling. Well, I don't know if this is a break. This is going to be far longer than a break, in my opinion, because Triple H running the WWE is a problem for me. I don't like how he running the company. I saw somebody say the other day that he not qualified to be running creative. I agree 100%. I could give two fucks about him running the company. Him being in charge of creative is a problem for me. People used to bitch about Vince McMahon having his favors and whatnot, even though he done put so many people over the top. Triple H is literally only putting his people at the top of the card. No black superstar has had any type of success under Triple H. And don't say Bianca, because she was already a champion before Triple H. Don't say Roman Reigns. I know some morons think he a white man. He is not. He was having success before. Matter of fact, bro, the Bloodline was the best story going in the WWE. Triple H ruined that quickly. He ruined it quickly. And it's no surprise to me. And let me tell you something. I'm not even finna get on here and dog Triple H, even though I could and I want to, because I really don't like the WWE at this moment. And I really feel like every time a white man get to control something, he just start coloring it white, just painting everything white. My hugest problem with the WWE is the fans. I do not fucking like WWE fans. And I'm not talking about every single WWE fan exists, but the greater majority of the fans is just white people who love to see white people succeed. They're not going to bitch about, and for some reason they jump into this Asian territory because they big anime fans. So then they start supporting the anime, the Chinese or Japanese woman. It's not because they really like the person. They just is addicted to anime and stealing culture jacking the people from Japan and China. So when I look at the WWE and I see how Cody Rhodes can leave, quit on, imagine this for a second. Imagine, let's say, me, Big Dog Henry, Gianni, Abdi, Abandon. Let's say we all start a company, right? We start a company. We all got the equal amount of, we don't all got the equal amount of equity in the company, but let's say I'm not even the boss. Let's say somebody else is our boss and we all working in the company, right? Now, let's say I quit because I don't like how I'm positioned on the roster. All right. I say Gianni getting opportunities that I feel like I should be getting. Henry getting opportunities I feel like I should be getting. So I quit. Now, people will say I quit because, well, my thing is I quit because I wasn't getting opportunities. But that's really saying I quit because I felt like I deserved better opportunities than Gianni, than Abandon, than all the people who we're working with right now. So that's a personal shot at them also, because I'm saying to myself, I deserve better than them. They're not good enough to be getting what they getting. I should be getting it. That's first. That happened in the WWE with the white dudes all the time. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. We can go down a list of all the white dudes who done quit on the WWE and walked out. But then now let's imagine I quit, I leave, I go to another company. A company that's doing the exact same thing as the company I just left, and they are in direct competition with said company I just left. Now let's say the company that I just left is starting to shoot up the charts. They starting to do it, man. They making big time money. They getting big time viewers. Everything going right. And now let's say I go back because the company I'm with just can't get as big as that company I left. So now let's say I go back. Not only do I go back, I start to get all the opportunities. I'm put at the top of the card. I'm getting the title shots. I'm getting all the interviews with the top people. Like everything that could go right that I should not be getting because I quit on y'all, I'm getting. And now look at the disdain everybody who stayed gonna feel. Gianni like, yo, I stayed and built this company up to where it's at. How in God's name am I losing out on opportunities for somebody who quit on us? That's my problem with the WWE. And that's my problem with the fans. Fans, you know, I heard an interview a couple years ago where Daniel Bryan disrespected The Miz on, he said he just fight like he don't, I can't, hold up, bro. Am I going to look it up? I'm not looking it up. Daniel Bryan, you're just going to have to go look it up. Daniel Bryan, when he was talking to, what's my man's name? Miz on one of those after shows after SmackDown. And he told The Miz, like, bro, he disrespected The Miz. I would have slapped the shit out of him if I was The Miz, but I'm not The Miz. This notion that Daniel Bryan and the CM Punks who quit on the companies, the fact that fans still cheer for him as loud, it shows me that you don't, bro. I already knew it was no loyalty to WWE. The people who root for it always talking crazy about it. But the fact that I told you before, when I see wrestlers go in there and wrestle and I'm hearing people chant CM Punk, that is so disrespectful. He quit on y'all. He quit. He left. He took his ball and went home, and you have the nerve to be chanting for him while two other people is in that ring trying to put on the show for you. The way that the WWE allow the fans to be disrespectful because they paid a ticket and they can just, it's a cyclical cycle of disrespect. And the only people who never have to feel it or face it is the white people in the WWE. Bobby Lashley done been done dirty since Triple H took over. So have the Prophets. So have Kofi Kingston. So have Xavier Woods. So has any black person who's in the WWE. You shocked that Bianca lost her title the way she lost it to Asuka? I'm not. Vince McMahon wouldn't have took that title off of her without some type of real story being built. But Triple H did. And I was so irritated when I saw people saying, oh, you know, Triple H wanted Bianca one of his creations. No, it's not. When she was in NXT and he was running it, he didn't never make her a champion. He had to lose to a bunch of white people, though. And that's my thing. People might say, oh, you're saying you don't like white people. You don't like white people. You're not listening to what I'm saying. At no point in time have I told you I didn't like white people. At no point in time have my message sounded like or been illustrated in a sense of he don't like white people. That's not what I'm saying. I don't like the very clear bias that you have as a white person in the WWE. Because the white people don't face the criticism that the black athlete face in the WWE. And it's been going on for years. I probably should have been called it out. But now that Triple H is in charge, it is so glaring. Like, bro, all I'm going to say is I'm not a WWE guy anymore. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. I don't like Triple H running it. I don't like how the black athletes and the superstars being done. And you might think that my biggest problem is the fans and the black athletes, how they being. No, my biggest problem is how terrible the storytelling is for the WWE. Nope. That's not my biggest problem. My biggest problem is still the fact that you let guys who quit on the company, badmouth the company, badmouth people in the locker room, and you waltz their ass right on back in there. And you said, oh, it's for the fans. See, that's my thing. When Triple H done shown you so many times money is more important than a fan. Bro, he don't give a fuck about y'all liking CM Punk. He just know how much money that's going to bringing back CM Punk's old ass. Mind you, at this point, I done said it multiple times. A white man can just be anything in the world and people look at him as a good guy. CM Punk is not a good human being. He done shown y'all that on a multitude of occasions. But every time he get worse, y'all get louder and cheer for him. So at this point, when CM Punk can quit, Cody can quit, and all these other dudes can quit, come back, and just get to the top of the roster. Karrion Kross is not that great of a competitor, but Triple H gonna keep finding ways to throw him on the top of the roster, even if it means burying Bobby Lashley and the Prophet. So I'm pretty sure I hate the WWE in this position it's in right now, and I don't see that changing. Like the dude said the other day, Triple H is not qualified to be head of creative, and somehow he is, and that's insane to me. That position should not have went from from Vince McMahon to Triple H. Vince McMahon had it because he started the fucking company. Triple H didn't start this fucking company. He been working with the scraps he been given and working with the pieces on the puzzle. He didn't create the puzzle. He didn't create the game. Somehow, though, he is in charge of creative. Why? Because he was a wrestler? Because wrestlers like Triple H? Because he ran NXT? Have y'all actually watched NXT, bro? Now, I know the crowd I'm talking to right now, the audience I'm talking to, probably don't even watch wrestling, which is why this conversation finna end shortly. However, what I'm saying is, if you don't watch wrestling, don't even waste your time getting into that shit. But we got so much to talk about because the Philadelphia fucking Eagles, I'm going to get to the Steelers in a minute, but the Philadelphia Eagles, boy, do we have a problem. First off, bro, that was like some of the worst tackling I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, that was pathetic. James Bradbury, and what's this other motherfucker's name? Cunningham. Neither of those two players should be on a football field. Neither. Those are not two starting level players. I don't know if those are two backup level players. Specifically, those two had probably as bad a night as anybody. However, go look at the film and take your fucking pick. Because the amount of missed tackles, bro, listen to me. It was plays in this game that should have lost 5, 6, 7 yards. Every single one of them gained 5, 6, 7, 8 yards because of not even bad tackling, bro. Bad tackling is one thing. This was not tackling at all. These guys are just letting dudes run off of. They're not even attempting to tackle. They're not even trying to tackle. I think it's very disgusting, the performance that got put on film last night. And my biggest irritation out of the game is this fire Nick Sirianni shit and this old Jalen Hurts is a bum type shit. You know, I think it's very funny that y'all love, or that fans and whatnot love listening to ESPN and FS1, stations of analysts who don't actually watch the games until they have to watch a primetime game. So they're not watching these teams all season unless they're a fan of them. And my irritation with it is, if you watch these teams on a regular basis, on a yearly basis, how is your opinion constantly switching? I understand the NFL, the window of opportunity is open and shut as quick as it was open. This is not what we're talking about. We're not talking about a team having an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. We're talking about people bashing a head coach and a quarterback after getting to the Super Bowl last year, nearly winning that bitch, starting the season 10-1, and now it's bro, where was this? And this is how I know it's not the coach. And this is why I'm irritated with the fans and the media. Where was this energy in the beginning of the season? Y'all might have said it was problems with the Eagles, but you never said fire Sirianni. You never said fire Jalen Hurts. When they was pulling out clutch wins, I never heard that once. This is how fickle a fan base is. This is how fickle humans are. This is how fickle the media is. Nick Sirianni's not the problem. Now, I'm going to say something that's crazy. Don't really think that the defensive coordinator was the problem either. You see, Matt Patricia, I know that's a polarizing name. People want to hate on Matt Patricia when you hear Matt Patricia, but I'm not going to hate on Matt Patricia. This is what I will say, however. When a defense, see, it's one thing if it's scheme. If it's the scheme, I got you. That's on coaching. If it's the scheme, if it's constant, just years of bet, I got you. That's the coordinator. What they just put out there on film, that ain't the coordinator. That's the players. And at some point in time, it cannot be easy. It cannot be this easy to just keep blaming coaches. Oh, it's the coach. It's the coach. Fire the coach. Fire the coach. What the fuck the coach and the quarterback got to do with what this dude's just put out on film? And you keep telling me about players. This is the same thing I told y'all about Dak, too, and all these guys. You keep telling me coaching. At some point in time, a player have to outplay the scheme. He got to go above the X's and O's at some point. It cannot always be coaching. What Philly just put out there on film is not coaching. The scheme didn't have a chance because dudes can't guard. Dudes don't tackle. It was multiple times the Eagles could have got off the field last night and they didn't. You want to know why? Because they couldn't tackle. Now, to be fair, before I even dig deep into the Eagles, I want to quickly finish up the Tampa Bay Bucs. Congratulations on the Bucs. You went way further than I imagined you was going to go. You did play in a shitty-ass division. That helps. But I want to say something. Because a dude tweeted the Browns would be in a better position if we ready to have that conversation about the Browns being in a better position if they had Baker Mayfield. Now, I just want to show you how easy it is for a white guy, because it was a white dude who said that, to rewrite the history for a white quarterback. I watched Baker Mayfield in Cleveland every single fucking year, every snap, every game. Didn't miss a single one. Baker, I watched this year. To say that the Browns would be in a better... Bro, did you just choose not to watch those games that he played in Cleveland? Did you choose not to watch... You know what's funny to me? Only a white quarterback, and Dak, can play against bad competition. You see the competition is bad, and you still give credit to the quarterback. Because if Lamar had to beat down the Eagles, you would have said, oh, well, the Eagles sucked. If Pat Mahomes had to beat down the Eagles, oh, well, the Eagles suck right now. Why are we hyping them up? Josh Allen and them boys was beating bad teams at the end of the season. Oh, people got to worry out for Buffalo. Got to watch out for Buffalo. It's very easy when a white quarterback have a little moment to go nuts. Baker Mayfield is still trash. And that opinion ain't changing. Do he look better this year than he did last year? Baker looked the same to me. I don't understand what y'all watching. Y'all have not watched Baker clearly. They probably win that game 50-something to 9 if he didn't miss a couple throws. Now, granted, they also dropped some catches. Mike Evans going to drop like 2 catches a game, bro. It just is what it is. I didn't see Mike Evans drop catches on his whole career, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? It happens. Nonetheless, this thing where white people immediately try to have you rewrite or forget the history of a certain quarterback or player is ridiculous. All right. And this is exactly why a channel like mine is very much necessary. Because we're not finna overhype a guy for winning that game. I saw somebody say Baker Mayfield definitely the better quarterback between him and Lamar. He already got 2 playoff wins. What? Baker Mayfield didn't play a role in that win in Cleveland. Ben Roethlisberger did more for them to win that game. On top of that, look at the rosters that Baker done played with both times. And look at the teams that he beat in both of these playoffs. It's very funny that Philly this year resembled a lot of that Steelers team that he beat in the playoffs that year. A team that started off real good, but by the end of the season, everybody knew this is not a good team. They beaten up a lot of bad teams. They got off to an early start, but this ain't a good team. And people predicted this could be a one and done team in the playoffs. And would you look at that? They were one and done. The only thing Jalen didn't do that Ben did was turn the ball over multiple times. So this notion that Baker Mayfield is now all of a sudden some top 10 quarterback, because even Joe Buck and Troy Aikman was dick glazing them all last night. And I don't want to hear people say, oh, that's what they supposed to do. They was hating on Lamar Jackson the whole time he played against the 49ers. Now, they had an agenda going into that game. They wanted Brock Purdy to win that game, and so they could start talking about how he the MVP and yada, yada, yada. And it didn't happen. But, you know, this is one of the reasons I say they need more black former football players or analysts or commentators on this. Because the way white people or the white men will turn these conversations and speak on how they feel, it's absolutely ridiculous, bro. I know somebody listening to this and like, bro, why he gotta keep talking about race? Like I say every time, if I'm saying something you don't like, I am not forcing you to stay here and listen. I appreciate it, but I'm not forcing you to stay here and listen. A lie don't care who tell it, and the truth don't care who hear it. It just says what it is. Listen. If you think, now this is what really irritates me, because this Baker Mayfield hype train could go even further. I don't have no faith in Detroit. I don't have no faith in the Lions and Jared Goff. My opinion ain't going to change on them. So I could see Jared Goff going into the game next week at home and throwing a couple interceptions to lose that game. I don't think it'll happen, but it could happen. I do want to say something real quick. Speaking of Jared Goff. Yo, I just saw, last night I saw this post where Matthew Stafford used to kneel for the national anthem, and he came out and was like, yo, black lives matter and police brutality is a real thing. White privilege is a real thing. Like, We got to stop acting like this shit don't exist, yada, yada, yada. I did not know he came out and said that. So new rule on the channel. We no longer slander Matthew Stafford. Listen to me, man. That man is a first ballot Hall of Famer with all the arm talent in the world. Super Bowl champion. He helped my guy Aaron Donald get a chance. We love Matthew Stafford on this channel now. He is an ally. He is a Hall of Famer. He is a champion. You're not going to hear me speak ill on Matthew Stafford no more. I'm just telling y'all that in advance. And fuck them Detroit fans, bro, who was booing that man's daughters. Y'all fans is a bunch of fucking weirdos to me, man. I guess I'm just not a real fan. I guess that's what it is, bro. Because I'm going to tell you something. At no point in time do I think to myself as a fan, you know what would be real great to do? Attack this man's kids. Boo his kid. I never think like that, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Booing him would have been enough for me. I don't understand. Matter of fact, I don't even remember the last time I booed. I don't know if I done ever literally booed anybody. Dead ass, unless I'm being funny with my homies or something. But other than that, and I'm talking about booing my homeboys, not like booing an app. I don't get it, man. The fan culture is a weirdo culture to me. More fans than not are fanatics. I mean, I just look at those Buffalo Bills dumbasses jumping through tables and shit like that. Like, I don't understand the purpose of Bills Mafia hurting themselves for foot. Yeah, it just, fans are a bunch of dipshits in my opinion. At this point. A bunch of unnecessary shit transpire in these stadiums and with these fan bases. But you know, it's just like that Raven fan. I can't even remember his name, who be going to the stadiums, little fat, chubby little dude who don't be having a shirt on, saying like he don't like how loud the stadium was, like the stadium need to be louder and yada yada. Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. White people love to live everybody else's life, bro. You worry about what you doing at the stadium. If motherfuckers don't feel like cheering, oh fucking well. If they do, have at it. Bro, y'all not finna tell people how to come to a game and act, bro. Dead ass, bro. That's the problem. I don't know who raised y'all white people, bro. Other white people I know. But it's no way that in y'all house, or maybe it is, because I done seen it happen so many times now that I'm almost certain this probably do happen in y'all households. Where y'all see something and y'all family and y'all mom, dad tell y'all like, inject yourself in every situation. Like, it don't matter what's going on. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, inject yourself in that situation because people need your opinion. Bro, white people, I'm here to tell you, we don't. Just like the white people who like to tell me Eminem is a top 5 rapper all time or hip hop art, bro, don't need your opinion. Every white dude who love to say Drake is the GOAT, don't need your opinion on black people's shit, bro. When that's the type of opinion. Listen, Saint is very open to opinions, but certain opinions, nah, I'm good on it. Because it's coming from a place of ignorance, meaning you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Speaking of which, bro, to all the fans, I'm glad I said that. You don't know what you're talking about. Because, you know, to all these fans, bro, who be celebrating when your team don't make the playoffs, but you celebrated when the Cowboys got knocked out. You celebrated when the Eagles got knocked. Bro, are y'all stupid? Like, what? And, bruh, how did we get to this? Where this culture of you didn't make the playoffs, so you talk trash about teams that made it and lost. Bro, you didn't make the dance. You outside the club hating and you're never getting in. I'm unaware of why people do this. Darius Slay did it last night. He is actually a player who could have played a role in his team making the playoffs and didn't. So I'm confused as to how a player. Now I know some people say, oh, they divisional rivals. Who gives a fuck? And I know some people gonna be like, well, bro, all our seasons ended the same way. It didn't though. You didn't make the playoffs. We did. We can build on this. What are you building on? I told y'all last year when the Giants lost in the playoffs, I said, don't expect for these motherfuckers to be in it next year because it's the one team in the playoffs that'll probably end up being ass next year. It's so crazy how they ended up being ass this year. I told you, bro, a lot of the times when some of these bad teams look good, it's because of one of two things. They survived the pack of bad teams and made it to the top, or it's a lot of good teams that's just having down years. Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can run it back the exact same way. They ain't making the playoffs next year with Baker. I hope they give Baker a long-term contract. If you are a Carolina, Atlanta, or a New Orleans fan, you should be praying that Baker Mayfield get extended in in Tampa. You should be praying that he get extended. Because I watched Baker Mayfield. I know what Baker Mayfield is, bro. So this ain't one of them things where I got to be like, oh, my God, Baker playing something. No. I watch Baker. I done seen Baker have good games, decent games, and play like Baker Mayfield all the same. So, if you one of those three teams in the NFC South, pray that Tampa Bay bring back Baker. Because I can tell you this. If you the Saints, who knows what you need to do, because you ain't making it with Derek Carr, bro. I done seen Derek Carr playing in a division with worse quarterbacks before Pat came along and still not make the playoffs. So if you the Saints, you probably ain't making the playoffs anyways. It don't matter who they got at quarterback, Baker, Mariota. It don't matter. You probably ain't making the playoffs regardless with Derek Carr at the helm. But to the other two teams, you still got a chance. Now, I saw that Bill Belichick interviewed for that Atlanta job. I would love to see Bill Belichick in a situation where he can play in a city that ain't got terrible weather like New England or Foxborough. That's not just. Could you imagine Bill Belichick in that Atlanta culture, bro? All those African Americans in that culture, bro. Could you? Because this is completely different than Foxborough, my guy. Like completely different. It's like a culture shock. Could you? And then playing against the man who beat you in the Super Bowl like that? Oh man, fuck that. I'd never hire this motherfucker. I just thought about that. 28-3 still exists, bro. I'm never hiring Bill as a Falcons head coach, bro. You could suck my whole dick if I was the owner of the Falcons. But this is the same owner that said he thought that Desmond Ridder was going to be better than Lamar Jackson. He thought Desmond Ridder was better than Lamar. Only a dumbass owner would say some shit like that. Only a dumbass person would say some shit like that. Because what tape did you watch that convinced you that Desmond Ridder, who I like to call Desmond Who Ridder, because I got a brother who loved the Falcons. I call him Desmond Who Ridder. What film did you watch, Arthur Blank, that convinced you Lamar Jackson wasn't better than Desmond Ridder? This is why I say the media is terrible. The media got on TV for 2 years and tried to convince people that Lamar Jackson was not a good quarterback. When they bring up the top quarterbacks, they never brought up Lamar. They say all these other quarterbacks. They never bring up Lamar. Somebody else would have to say, hey, and Lamar Jackson. And then somebody immediately would try to shit on his accomplishments. But like I said multiple times, you can talk to me about all these playoff wins that people got and things like that without the context. But let me ask you something. If Josh Allen don't never win a Super Bowl, and let's say Lamar Jackson never make another playoff, what's the difference in the careers? One kept making the playoffs and losing, and the other one didn't out. It's hard to use that because Lamar Jackson make the playoffs every year he healthy. So let's just say both of them make the playoffs every year, but they never win a Super Bowl. We still going to consider them both Hall of Famers. But what was the difference if one throw 50 touchdowns and all in the playoffs and the other one throw 30? What was the difference? Neither one of them won a Super Bowl. See, these little small semantic things that y'all argue, these stats things that fans argue, don't make fucking sense to me. And this is exactly why I said fans do not understand what the fuck they are watching when they talk football, when they watch football, and they get it from this goofy ass media who say a bunch of stupid shit also. Because there's no way. And I understand being a fan, so you want to talk trash. But coming out and comparing stats and all this, when is y'all going to learn that shit does not matter? Dak had a great year. You see where Dak's sitting at right now? This clearly, and that's probably one of my other big problems with fans. Because y'all just a bunch of fucking dipshits at this point. I'm not talking about following. I'm talking about fans in general. Because to continue, if you one of those people who like to quickly hop to the stats and try to prove points with stats, I can't talk to you. I don't even want to listen to you, to be a band with you, because I know you're going to say some old goofy shit. If you a fan that like to say, oh, well, you know what Lamar got to do with 3 turnovers, if you can't sit down and watch a football game and analyze that game the way it should be analyzed and understand how to break down every single person's job and their position and what they do for a team, then stop watching, bro. Or if you're going to watch, just don't talk about it. Dead ass serious. Because I have no interest in continuously listening to dumbass fans talk about a sport in which they know nothing about. They just enjoy it on a Sunday and a Monday and a Saturday during the playoffs. That Nick Sirianni should be fired. Send Jalen Hurts away. All these dumbass things that people talk about. And you want to know what I find very interesting? Jalen Hurts is what, in his third year or something like that? People shitting on Jalen Hurts. And the same people who shitting on Jalen Hurts tried to defend Dak Prescott. I saw Rex Ryan say, don't you dare blame Dak Prescott. I like Rex. Clearly Rex don't know what the fuck he watching. Because when the game mattered, what did Dak do? Now, y'all so quick to want to blame Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy. At what point in time do your franchise quarterback have to play above the play calling? At what point in time do your franchise quarterback have to go above the X's and O's? It can't just keep being McCarthy. You're just going to keep firing coordinators just like or coaches, just like they're doing over there in Vegas. I mean, not Vegas, in L.A. with the Chargers. And you know what you dumbass fans going to yell? Oh, well, Justin Herbert had 3 coaches, 4 coaches, 5 coaches. Because you keep telling them to fire guys, but then you bitch when they fire him and say, oh, well, you know, this player at a disadvantage. But you just said fire this coach. You don't give people time to grow. You don't give people time to mature together. You don't give people time to evolve together. You want to see immediate impact right now. The thing that I find very embarrassing with fans right now, especially the media, because they get paid to do this, is how they talking about the Eagles. Listen to me. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, like Jalen said, when somebody in the media said, do you expect Nick? And Jalen was like, I didn't know he was going nowhere. Like, the media trying to fire Nick Sirianni off. Now, if the Philadelphia Eagles as an organization fire Nick Sirianni, it's just a goofy-ass organization. I never thought this was a goofy-ass organization, but if they fire Nick Sirianni, it's a goofy-ass organization. I also don't like that the Eagles front office make most of the moves. They don't let Sirianni run his own fucking team. That's the same thing they did to Doug Peterson. I don't know when the Eagles going to learn to let coaches run their fucking teams. That's the one problem I have with the Eagles organization. Howie think that he could just run the fucking team. I understand you drafted players and I understand you go sign the players and you find them. You don't coach them. So as good as you think somebody look on paper, until you the one out there coaching them, I don't think they should be the ones making the business decisions as far as what happens on that field and who is on that field. That should be Nick Sirianni should have far more to do with that. Not to mention, this fire Nick Sirianni shit, man. The man just lost both his coordinators, his defensive coordinator and his offensive coordinator. But sure, fire Nick Sirianni. And I heard somebody say, I done heard a lot of people say, well, his coordinators clearly is what made him a good coach. I don't hear y'all say that for no other coach who got good coordinators. Not at one point in time did y'all say Andy Reid is only good because Bieniemy. He didn't win the Super Bowl before Bieniemy. He ain't won. He did win. Oh, he ain't won one since Bieniemy action. Now I know this is the first year he ain't got Bieniemy, but I never see people give Bieniemy his credit. I never hear people go and look at how different the offense for the Chiefs look without Bieniemy. But sure, we getting mad at Nick Sirianni, who just lost multiple. And Jalen Hurts is not Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts is not Patrick Mahomes. This is the thing. Y'all see success and y'all instantly try to pole vault people at a certain point without actually looking at their games, looking at them develop. You before they can develop into what they supposed to be, y'all already crowning them certain things. And that's the problem. CJ Stroud, y'all gonna kill him if he get blown out in Baltimore. Y'all gonna kill him. Is CJ Stroud gonna be a good quarterback regardless if he win or lose his game? Absolutely. So the problem that I have at this very moment is the quick little overreactions that people have as soon as a game ends. This is why I didn't get on here and clown Dallas. What do I gain from overreacting and shit like that? The only time I'm overreact is if it's Baltimore, and I rarely do that. So, you know, this fan base culture of, you know, let's just overreact to every little fucking thing. I really think the Eagles might be some of the most ignorant, moronic ass fans that exist. And you're not worse than Dallas, But for Eagles fans to be holding up signs that say fire Sirianni after the man just coached you to a Super Bowl and was coaching you to a great record this year, I don't understand how people don't realize shit happens. Period. Shit happened in your everyday life just like shit happened on that football field. I'm supposed to fire them when things go wrong? To me, that's crazy. If you want to play musical chairs with your head coach, have at it. But Nick Sirianni will be hired with another team if he was to be fired today. He young and already coached a team to a Super Bowl. Was we firing Sean McVay when he had those down years? Did we question firing Kyle Shanahan when he had down years? Like this notion that when a coach struggle, he got to always be good because the one year he struggled, mind you, got his team to the playoffs. Still coached his team to the playoffs. This is not a dude who just did not make the playoffs with his team. And I be hearing people say, well, the level of criticism got to be harder. It's not harder. Y'all are just unfair with the criticism. That's why I always hate it when Shannon try to explain why he harder on certain people. No, my guy, you're just biased and inconsistent with your criticism. Because the level of greatness, that I understand judging people on a different scale. That's not what you're doing. You're just straight up being biased and omitting different things. Like one of the things that Shannon keeps saying that's really, I ain't gonna lie, it's really pissing me off because it's very clear he didn't watch these games, is when he go in on Dallas and be like, Aaron Jones had 2 touchdowns the whole season. He had 3 last game. For one, dipshit, Aaron Jones always played good against the Cowboys. That's one. 2, why do you keep bringing up these fucking stats, bruh? Aaron Jones was hurt damn near all year. Do you think that could be why he didn't put up the stats he usually put up? Like, I don't understand how you could easily look that up as to why Aaron Jones, mind you, Shannon Sharp talk about Aaron Jones. The way he speak on Aaron Jones is if he don't even realize Aaron Jones is a top 5 back when healthy in the league. Dead ass. Like, it's almost as if he didn't even know who Aaron Jones was. And that's my irritation, bro, because I'm watching this Packers for like the last couple years in a row. And I'm knowing how great Aaron Jones is as a player. And I got to listen to a motherfucker who get on TV to talk about the sport, who posts to watch it, speak on Aaron Jones as if he's some scrub or something. I can't do it. I can't take it. I don't like it. And this is who people decide to celebrate and boost up and cheer. Like Hov said, and this is the dude who you want to place your faith. I can't believe it. I'm disgusted. But back to Philly. Philly going to have to do wholesale changes in the offseason. I don't like the linebacking core. I hate the secondary. I hated the secondary since last year. I told you earlier in the season that James Bradbury was not a cover corner. James Bradbury is not a corner anymore. He should probably be a safety if he even touched the field for another team. It's kind of ridiculous how bad James Bradbury and these guys are. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's absolutely horrendous. If you Philly, though, I think the biggest thing you have to worry about, I'm looking at this clip of Gears of War where this motherfucker was doing a lot of shooting and he never at no point in time turned around with like this big behemoth motherfucker walking behind him. How you don't hear this motherfucker as big as he is walking behind you? How you never think to yourself, man, let me just, I can't remember this dude's name, bro. He the bald-headed dude on Gears of War. But how you never think to yourself to turn around, or how you don't hear this big motherfucker walking behind you, it's just unbeknownst to me, bro. Sometimes the storyline in these video games just don't make no damn sense, but somebody got to die so the story can progress. So either way, one of my, when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're going to have to make wholesale changes on the defensive side of the ball. I like Darius Slay. Darius Slay should not be starting at your corner position anymore, in my opinion. Either he going to have to shift to a to a free safety role, or he going to have to be the cornerback to take less, who get less snaps, because I don't think it's smart having him out there every snap. Because, listen, I know people clowning a lot of other people. Go look at Darius Slay. Go look at the last couple games. We don't disrespect or say nothing about Slay out of respect for him. Go look at him play the last couple weeks. People beat him all the time. Either the quarterback overthrow it or the receiver drop it. Or Slay foul him. But Slay is not the same cornerback who touched down in Philadelphia last year. I know that's hard for some people to hear. I know that's hard for some people to accept. But it is what it is. Now, what do I advise? I think you need to go out and draft. You don't want to put your whole team, your whole defense in a bind where it's too many young guys, because then you start to look like the Rams look with and that's a tough season to get through. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you got nothing but young guys and bad players on defense, it's really tough to get through that season. People don't think about how taxing it is on the offense when your defense really cannot get stops. Surprisingly, one of the reasons I don't think it was Matt Patricia is because scheme is what saved the Bucs, the Eagles. The Eagles could have gave up 50 points easily last night. The defense still was able to get certain stops because of play calling and scheme, and Baker and the offense for the Bucs fucking up at times. You take away the decent coaching that happened, this would have been even worse. That's why I say I don't understand how y'all think this was a coaching problem and not a player problem. What the fuck a coach supposed to do about his dudes just not tackling? And I understand the media done got y'all programmed to where they say, well, you know, when dudes don't tackle, that mean they done quit on the team. Listen, what happened with the Chargers against the Raiders earlier this year, that's quitting on a team. That's quitting on a coach. Even though I think it's disgusting regardless to do shit like that, that's what you call quitting on a coach. What just transpired in Tampa, that's just called being ass. Look at some of the angles these dudes was taking them on tackles. They didn't even want to tackle. They was taking terrible angles. They was moving out the way. They was trying to tackle with one hand. This thing where people still throw their bodies at people is hilarious to me, because the Eagles liked to do that last night, and they missed almost every time. The Eagles was missing tackles last night like somebody told them before the game, you'll get $1 million bonus if you miss 5 tackles each this game. Like, it was god-awful. And if you know, the Eagle fan might be one of the most entitled baby-ass fan bases in the world, because the fact that y'all don't stand up and support y'all players unless they are winning, that's tough, man. That'd be tough for me to want to play for. And that's why I always go, I'm a Philadelphia Phillies fan, and I done went at the Phillies fans multiple times. Like, what do you gain from booing and trashing your own team? Like, Nick Sirianni ain't been the Matt Patricia of coaching or nothing like that, but you want to fire him? You bringing signs to the game. You expending energy, making a sign that say fire Nick Sirianni, and the motherfucker got you 10 plus. Now, it is shocking that this team didn't even make it to 12 wins this year. That show you the collapse that they had. But is this the first collapse we done seen from a good team in the history of football? No. To be completely frank with you, if I'm being fair, the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, when we lost in 2019, that's a bigger loss than what the Eagles just faced. If I'm being completely frank with you, we was the number 1 seed and we look good going. Now, there's a lot of different issues that was with that team that I could speak on, but I'm not going to. I need to make a point. And so my point is that was a bigger loss to me than this was just what just transpired with the Eagles. Look at everything that's transpired with the Eagles. They lost 2 offensive coordinators. They lost A.J. Brown wasn't out there for this game. Dallas Goedert missed most of the season. Oh, my God. You know, last night it was a clip of Dallas Goedert snapping on Jalen Hurts. And I just want to say, just like I said about A.J. Brown, at some point in time, y'all dudes going to have to stop being bitches. To me, it showed me your character when y'all losing and you decide to go at your quarterback. I don't care if your quarterback missed you on a wide open pass. Bro, do you know how hard it is to be a quarterback in the NFL with people running at you full speed trying to take you down and you still trying to make a read at the same time? Like, to me, you really show how ignorant a teammate you are and how low character you are when you try to show up your quarterback on the sideline just because you're losing. Because I didn't see him doing that shit when they was winning. Now, to A.J. Brown's credit, this motherfucker was bitching even when they were winning. And, you know, at some point in time, character going to have to come into play. Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith cannot have the high character that they have. And I'm not trying to assassinate nobody's character. I'm just talking about what we see. The way Jalen Hurts and Devontae can keep their composure and not snap on teammates and show it, that's commendable. At some point in time, this friction that you have when other players decide to jump out of character, you can't have that. And people saying, oh, it's a Jalen Hurts problem. How? They wasn't doing this when they were winning. Except for A.J. Brown, which shows you that this is an A.J. Brown problem. But anytime I see things like this and I see people try to blame it on, oh, it's the quarterback. Oh, it's the head coach. No. At some point in time, players have to be accountable for their actions. At some point in time, players can't act like bitches every time we losing. Every time they not getting the ball. You think Jalen Hurts want to lose games? You think he want to not see you? So if Jalen Hurts is a problem, then Jason Kelce must be a problem too, because he a leader also, and it happened on his watch. You know how stupid it sound when y'all say shit like that? Or when people say shit like that? You blaming another grown-ass man for another grown-ass man's actions in that type of situation? Because I understand bad leadership. Oh, trust me, I get that. Jalen Hurts ain't out there doing ignorant shit to prove that he a bad leader. See, a bad leader got to also be a bad leader. They have to be out there doing shit that make them a bad leader. Jalen Hurts having a bad game and not responding when his player decided to amp on him on the sideline is not showing me Jalen Hurts is a bad leader. It actually commendable for Jalen Hurts, because you're not going to say nothing crazy to me when we winning, but then going to talk. I mean, you're not going to talk to be nice to me when we winning, but then when we losing, you want to flip the lid. If I'm Jalen Hurts, and this is probably where I'm not Jalen Hurts, I would have said something back to you. I would have been like, man, sit your bitch ass down. The fuck you going to do? If you touch me, you ain't going to be on the team next year, and you're not going to touch me anyways. Like, bruh, fuck up. You think I'm happy we losing right now? Like, shut the fuck up right now, bruh. God, damn. Like, that's how I be feeling Jalen Hurts need to be. Because Jalen Hurts getting a little too nice for you motherfuckers, bruh. I'm just keeping it a band with you, man. This constant disrespect that his players show him on the sideline, bro. Well, not constant, but the two that's doing it. Hey, listen, you can't just get rid of A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. But, boy, they production better not never fall. Because I'm telling you right now, much like AB, they keep you till they can't. They keep you while you productive. They deal with you while you productive. When your production outweigh your problems, even when the problems is problems, they keep you. But as soon as that production start to dip a little bit, and them problems still don't dip, then we start to get rid of you. Dallas Goedert is a good tight end. I told y'all last year, probably a year before that I thought he was a top five tight end. Dallas Goedert is not Mark Andrews. He not, well, he looked like Kelce this year because Kelce having an off year, but he not George Kittle. Hell, I would take Isaiah Likely over Dallas Goedert right now. So for Dallas Goedert to be snapping on the sideline just don't make no fucking sense to me. But anyways, let's get back to the Eagles game. When you look at the Eagles, secondary looked terrible as they do all year. The linebacking core looked terrible. The front actually was able to get pressure at times, but bro, imagine this. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Grahams, at some point in time, them men gonna have to retire also. But you look at how they got a big stop in this game. And I thought to myself, man, them two boys, man, old reliables, boy, they gonna always be there to get a crucial stop for their team. Now, those stops ended up not meaning shit because the Eagles couldn't score in the second half. They only ended up the game with 9 points. And yes, that is embarrassing. Yes, that hurts. But listen. What I need Eagle fans to understand is a team loses every year. Every team loses every year until that one team is left standing. And that one team left standing is usually not always your team unless you're a Patriots fan. So suck it up and shut the fuck up trying to go at your own players and coaches, bruh. I don't understand that. If you watch this game, this is not a Jalen Hurts problem, not a Sirianni problem. Now, Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, I don't like how he called this game. But I would not fire him either because this was just his first year and his first couple months with Jalen Hurts. Give him an entire offseason. I understand he had an offseason last year, but still not the same. They was in transition of moving to another. Now he can implement more things. I have faith in Brian Johnson. But what I will say is if Brian Johnson don't learn how to work the middle of the fucking field, bro, everybody can't be running deep routes, deep corner routes, deep post routes. 5-step drops, bro. You gotta send somebody across the middle on a cross or on a slant on a dig. Like, you gotta be able to work the middle of the field at some point in time. Like, to me, that was one of the biggest problems with the Eagles last night. They couldn't work the middle of the field. They never worked the middle of the field when they needed to. Working the middle of the field would have saved them a lot. And as much as people want to blame Jalen Hurts, and I don't know how they didn't have a play for that blitz that Todd Bowles send all the time. That could be on Sirianni. However, at what point in time do the receivers say to themselves, bro, we got to create some type of space? Look at the lack of space that most of the receivers were creating, including Dallas Goedert. The only person who had a good game last night was Devontae Smith, that Bama boy. So, I've been irritated with what I done seen from the media today. I've been watching these shows today, and I done seen how they done talked about Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and whatnot. So let me ask the Eagle fans something, because I really don't like addressing the media because they a bunch of dipshits anyways. But this show is a big address to Eagle dumbass fans. You get rid of Jalen Hurts, you get rid of Nick Sirianni. Who you hiring? Since you should fire both of them. What's next? Like, do y'all think about some of the stupid shit y'all be saying? Like, honest to God, bro. Do you think about some of the dumb shit you be saying? And now, Sirianni will probably become a little colder because he realized, I just got us to a Super Bowl, and this fan base still wanted me fired. I don't like that. This, what have you done for me lately? Bro, that's not even a what have you done for me lately. That's literally just ignoring the fact that the man just got you to a Super Bowl, and you immediately saying, oh yeah, we got to fire him because he didn't get us right back to him. What? Could you imagine if Andy Reid's season ended like this and people was yelling, fire Andy Reid, get rid of Pat Mahomes? This is crazy. And you can't say, oh, well, they got a Super Bowl. Take away the Super Bowl. You still not saying this is ridiculous. Mind you, Nick Sirianni is in his second year, bro. This ain't like he done been there for 6, 7, 8, 9 years and can't get it done. This is not Jalen Hurts, who is Dak Prescott with all the talent in the world for the last couple of years and ain't getting it done. This is just not the case. And I'm expecting Jalen Hurts. Well, no, I'm not expecting Jalen Hurts to disclose whatever injuries he was really dealing with throughout the season, but I do imagine it'll come out eventually. Jalen Hurts is too professional, bro. He's not finna try to make no excuses or nothing like that. Jalen Hurts too cool a motherfucker, man. I say that in a good way. He just too cool, bro. Jalen Hurts understand the assignment, bro. That's the best compliment I can give to him right now, in a sense that he just don't get too high. He don't get too low. He understand, like, bro, if I come out here talking about all the injuries and whatnot I'm dealing with, people gonna try to make it seem like I'm making excuses, like I'm a loser, yada, yada, yada. But you really don't win this with them anyway. So I like how Jalen Hurts approached the media. I like how he approached his team. And motherfucker just be looking at him like, all right, bro, I make more money than you, bro. Fuck out my face. And then, that's another thing that I saw happen last night. Or this on the show today. When you get paid this much money, whoa, why y'all like to bring up these boys' money? I didn't see y'all do that for Justin Herbert. I didn't see y'all do that for Joe Burrow. I ain't seen y'all do that for none of the white quarterbacks that didn't make it and they got paid this offseason. I never hear y'all question white man's money. But the first thing you want to do when this motherfucker loses, and when Dak loses, oh, do they deserve the money they get? Should Tua be paid? Now, Tua is a legitimate question. But these other dudes, bro, y'all is wilding at this. I don't even like that the first thing y'all bring up about Tua is, oh, should he be paid? Like, it's crazy. Because y'all don't do this for these other quarterbacks who have had far less success. Justin Herbert done been in the league for about 4-5 years now. One playoff appearance, got smoked in that one because of a comeback. I know it wasn't like no blowout, but when I say smoked, I mean like, bro, you really lost like this? And Justin Herbert didn't really do shit in that game either. It was really the defense and Asante Samuel Jr. But let's head over to the offensive side of the ball real quick. Well, I already done discussed the offensive side of the ball, but let me just put a tight little bow on this for the Eagles. Listen, do the Eagles need to make changes in the offseason? Absolutely. I think they need to go get a running back. I like DeAndre Swift, but I don't like DeAndre Swift as the sole running back. I think to maximize your success at the running back position when you don't have a Jonathan Taylor type of running back, you got to make sure you got two great running backs who can carry the, mind you, as great as Jonathan Taylor is, they still got Zach Moss playing side by side with him also, who is a great running back second option. So I do think they got to go out and invest more heavy in the running game. I don't want Jalen Hurts dropping back, throwing the ball 30 plus times a game if he don't have to. Plus, I think the offense just work better when we can. I'm saying we like I'm an Eagle fan. I think the offense just run better when you want to know really why I be saying we for a lot of these different teams. It's because I watch them so much. I'm like, shit, I'm breaking down this team like I'm breaking down my own team. Because a couple years ago, I couldn't have never imagined I'd be watching this many different fucking football teams, bro. I could not have imagined I would be watching so many different football teams play the way I watch them play, bro. I couldn't imagine I'd do that because I hated homework. And watching all these teams play and watching all these extra film and games is like homework. And I hated homework my entire life. I still do. So I never thought I'd be in a position where I'm watching these type of games like this. So, you know, shout out to me, man. The mental capacity that it take to watch some of this shit. But I'm grateful nonetheless that I'm able to watch football games, bro. Because some people can't even watch a football game. You know what I'm saying? They blind. They just listening to that motherfucker. Could you imagine only being able to hear a football game and not seeing it? I'm not gonna be a fan of no sport that I can't see. Hey yo, I just thought about something. This about. Nope, I'm not even gonna bring that up on this episode. I'll bring it up on another episode because that's kind of like a topic that you want to start off with. You know what I'm saying? And we too deep in the show to be going into that. But let's get to the other game that was played, the earlier game, the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, after this game, Pickens was asked about the game, and he said, refs. You can't expect to win a game when you got to play against the Buffalo Bills and the referees. Now, it might sound like I just read that verbatim. I did not. I just remember what he said because I listened to the quote. I listened to him say it. And, man, y'all know I don't like the Steelers. As a matter of fact, I'll start off by saying to all you Steeler fans, rest in piss, pussies. But now, to get off of my hatred for the Steelers and to be fair, I don't like how this game was officiated either. And one of my biggest problems I'm having is with these playoffs is the home team. And I know this is crazy saying this because Baltimore play at home next week and they can end up screwing the hell out of us with calls. But the calls in these games for the home team done been so egregiously bad as far as the calls or the not calls is crazy. Detroit committed like 4 different pass interferences in that game that all would have made a difference. They didn't get called for none of them. Now, Detroit didn't win that game because of all those calls. It definitely helped with it. But the Rams cannot not score in the red zone that many times. The Eagles did not lose because of bad calls last night. They lost because that defense couldn't tackle no damn body and they couldn't score. However, boy, it was some missed calls in that game too. And then I look at this this Pittsburgh game. I really don't know what the fuck the refs be out there looking at. I'm dead ass serious with you, man. I understand why George Pickens is pissed off. It did feel like when the Steelers got back in this game, every flag went Buffalo's way. It felt like the refs was on a personal vendetta to make sure the Buffalo did not lose this game. And I don't understand why the NFL is continuously allowing these referees to play the roles that they play in these fucking games. People keep having a problem when refs make one bad call, or calls that we don't even really know if they bad or not. It's just subjective because you're a fan of a team, like the call they made against Detroit in that Dallas game. Bro, you want to know what pissed me off about refs? It's not one call. It's having a game full of bad calls or no calls. I don't like it when people say just let them play. Bro, if I'm getting fouled, throw the flag, bro. Don't let us play. Call the play. Throw the flag. If I'm a receiver getting hit, getting pass interference, no, bro, don't let us play. You hurting my quarterback and my team because these dudes is legitimately stopping us from being able to do anything because they are actually committing penalties, and you're talking about some let them play. That's ridiculous. But then you call them for the other team. And the thing that's happening right now that a lot of people not happy about is it was a play in this game where Josh Allen had a 50-yard touchdown run where in the run it looked like he was finna slow down and slide. And when the defender let up, he just ran right past him. I don't like that shit. Now, I don't know if he was about to slide, but he did look like he was chopping his feet like he was about to slow. He did slow down and everything like he was about to go down. And I done seen the play multiple times. I do see where people think he was about to slide down. I don't know if he was about to slide down, but it do look like he was about to stop running or try to slow. I know people will say, well, the defense got to keep playing. The defense got to keep playing. It's hard for a defense to keep playing when these quarterback rules come into play, bro. Because they don't make the tackle on that one because of that bullshit Josh pulled. He scored. The next time he do it, they tackle him. They get thrown a flag. They get a flag thrown on them. You can't win when the quarterback is allowed to do shit like that. And that happened a couple years ago with somebody. But I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a legitimate gripe to be angry about this game. But listen, Your boy threw an interception in the red zone when it could have been, 7-14? So before it even had got out of hand, then you had a fumble that led to a quick touchdown. Then you had another, too many turnovers, not enough consistency as far as enforcing your will offensively. I don't know why Najee said internal changes need to happen in the offseason. Bro, you one of the internal changes that need to happen. I know you done been decent the last couple weeks. Najee Harris is not a number one running back. When the Steelers realize, you know what's funny? The Steelers had Le'Veon Bell. They done had Jerome Bettis. They done had Rashard Mendenhall. They done had running backs who were good running backs, and you could see the impact. I do not see the impact of Najee Harris, and we on year 4, 5 now. This is ridiculous. Maybe he have a turnaround like Derrick Henry had, because Derrick Henry did not start off his career the way Derrick Henry is playing now. However, he did turn that thing around eventually. Now, I'm not the type of person who willing to wait for that on a running back. I think that's absolutely insane. But, if they decide to do that, cool. I wouldn't have drafted Najee as high as they drafted him. I kind of figured this was going to be a dumbass move eventually. I thought that it was no way Najee was going to be able to live up to that draft pick unless he had the type of seasons that Jonathan Taylor. And Najee ain't at no point in time in his career done been better than Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry or a lot of these other great running backs. So I'm intrigued by his comment. But listen, with all that being said about how bad the refereeing was and all that, Pittsburgh, you would never win in this game, bro. Like I said, man, rest in piss. Listen, now I will say this. The game did get less interesting because of some of these calls, because Buffalo is not the team. Like I said on Twitter, I was like, yeah, Buffalo won this game, and I expected them to win this game. But I still got them losing to Kansas City next week. And a Buffalo fan tweeted me as if I was a Kansas City fan. And I didn't respond to him after he responded because clearly he was just wanting some attention. He was talking like his team done beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. Do Buddy know that they ain't never beat Kansas City in the playoffs? Like, Buddy bringing up seasonal things. If I told somebody, oh, Lamar Jackson beat Josh Allen in the season, you want to know what the first thing they're going to say? What'd he do in the playoffs? You see how it's crazy how these dumbass fans can just manipulate every little word and thing you say? They always got a goofy ass comeback. That's why I don't bother myself with going back and forth with fans. What you got to understand when you're talking to people, you got to quickly find out if they are a biased fan that cannot see anything other than they bias, or if they a fan who can legitimately break down like football. Because I done talked to multiple fans who will be like, oh, I'm not biased, and then just keep spewing out a bunch of biased shit. When I was talking to a Buffalo Bill fan last week, or probably 2 weeks ago, and he was real complimentary of Josh Allen of Lamar and Pat Mahomes. But when I'm looking at what he was saying had a lot of sneak diss in it. Like, one of the things he said was, I think those are 3 best quarterbacks because they really don't, especially Josh Allen, because look at what he had. And I tweeted him back and I was like, especially Josh Allen. I was like, nah, I'm not rocking with that at all. If it's especially somebody, it's especially Lamar. Lamar done had far less to work with on the offensive side of the ball than Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. I said, that's just a crazy statement. Josh Allen still has a all-pro receiver at the helm. And neither Pat nor Lamar turned the ball over the way Josh Allen turned the ball over. So we not finna play this game of especially Josh Allen. That right there, I quickly told him, like, bro, that's definitely your bias coming out, bro, because it ain't no way you just said that shit. And then he said that, Pat Mahomes done had a lot to work with, yada, yada, yada. Bro, Pat Mahomes had Tyreek the same time y'all had Stephon Diggs. But I'm not understanding, bro. Like, these excuses. Like, bro, if you don't feel like your team got enough to work with, go bring that up to your owner. Don't use that to try to shit on another great player, bro, because I don't like that. To say Pat Mahomes is only great because he done had great weapons, just tell me you don't know what you watching when you watch players play. Period. Because it's like I keep saying, I watched Pat Mahomes when he had Travis Kelce and Tyreek, and I knew that brother was special. Like, I didn't care, and that's exactly why I said Tyreek gonna be successful in Miami, because I understand quarterbacks make players great, and Tyreek, Kelce, and Mahomes made each other greater because of how great they all are individually. All three of them would have been Hall of Famers on different teams. I'm glad we never have to see it for Kelsey and Mahomes. But Tyreek showing you, I'm just as special. I just don't. And I like Tyreek, bro. He tweeted, somebody was showing a clip of him getting pressed at the line and by Snead. And that motherfucker said, he's pressed me all the way to Cancun. That motherfucker got paid, boy. He don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But I respect Tyreek for that, bro, because that's the exact type of mentality I would have to. Now, somebody gonna jump out the window and be like, oh, he don't care about winning no more. Nah, B, I done already lost. You think I'm finna be sitting here crying and bitching and we already done lost? No, you fans are a bunch of dipshits, bro. My life goes on. You numb nuts, the ones who continue to act like this is all, this is what's gonna help you get to heaven or not if we win a Super Bowl or not. Like, bro, it's more important things that people, and I think it's funny when fans always say, oh, they get paid a king's ransom to, nah, fans not that smart. They get paid a lot of money. That's how simple fans are. They get paid a lot of money. They millionaires to play a kid's game. But do you see how you act over this kid's game? It's crazy out here. But listen, it was going to be a tough one for the Steelers regardless. No TJ Watt, who to me is the clutchest defender in football. That definitely changes things on how you defend Cam and Highsmith. Cam is not the same pass rusher he used to be anyways. Highsmith is really the one who lose out when you don't have a TJ Watt because you can adjust the pressure to him. And this is why I said for Baltimore, man, and really Pittsburgh have a great pass rush. The fact that they got two coming off of both sides. Excuse me. And with Cam in the middle. That's a great pass rush. And it's a lot like Baltimore, except for they got the three big names, whereas Baltimore just got they pressure come from the entire line. You can't just stack one side because you don't know where it's going to come from. They didn't got production from the entire line this year. And that's not even best case scenario, bro. That's the best case possible when you don't have a star-studded name on the defensive side of the ball. But listen, I watched this game with Buffalo, and I'm still not convinced that this is the team that's going to beat Baltimore or Kansas City. Now, I would pick them to beat CJ Stroud and the Texans, but that's only because of how young the Texans is. They got a lot of injuries that wasn't exploited because Joe Flacco threw the ball to the other team 2 times and let them get in the end zone. So, that happened. But I wouldn't pick the Texans to beat. I see a lot of dumbass Texan fans talking about some, the Ravens acting like this and that. We ain't the same team y'all played in week 1. Motherfucker, Lamar was coming off of a season in the injury, new coordinator, new weapons. What are you talking about? Y'all not the same team from week 1. Bitch, we not either. As a matter of fact, we better. Like, bro, I don't understand, man. So, yeah, some of y'all motherfuckers just use any type of inspiration to get y'all hyped up for a game, bro. Y'all is embarrassing. But the same motherfuckers will turn around and be like, if they need any type of bulletin board material, then they really wasn't ready to play. But a fan will turn around and try to create some bulletin board material. You see how, this is why I hate fans, bro. Just a bunch of stupid ass hypocrites. But shout out to my guy, Josh Allen. Even though I don't think this was see, this is why I can talk like this, because I don't look at the stats until the game is over. Usually I don't care about the stats. I'm not even thinking about the stats throughout the game unless it's like a number of turnovers. That's really the only stat that be mattering to me throughout the game. Like all them passing and rushing yards, that shit don't mean a thing to me. Like, yeah, them stats make it look good after the game, but if I'm looking at a game and I see a team running real good, the stats will probably show that the team had good running numbers at the end of the game. That's why I say y'all gotta get off of these stats, man. Watching these stats is preventing people from actually watching the game the way it should be watched. But the divisional round is set, or the conference round, whatever the fuck this round called next, bro. The playoffs is the playoffs to me. First, second, third round, bro. Like all these names that we got for everything because we got a title, everything. It's just like when people be like, oh, well, you lost in the wild card, bro. They still made the playoffs, bro. Like, I don't care how many times y'all try to say wild card, bro. It's still the playoffs, bro. It's literally the first round of the playoffs, bro. Like, I don't understand this notion of trying to dumb down different things. But nonetheless, I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking. Well, I probably already did, but I'll have more breakdown analysis for those games when they come around. But I want to hop back to the Eagles. I just didn't feel like wasting too much time on that Pittsburgh game. And I understand this is really why they got Mason Rudolph starting, bro. That's not a team for me to take serious. Like I said, Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky. If the Pittsburgh Steelers want to be a matter of fact, I do want to talk about the Steelers. Not necessarily the Steelers, though. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I would hand in my resignation. Mike Tomlin could be in a Super Bowl right now if he go coach Dallas. Mike Tomlin done got so much out of multiple Pittsburgh teams that should not have been gone as far as he done got them. I would love to see Mike Tomlin take over the Dallas Cowboys. My problem with this Bill Belichick to the Cowboys thing is you keep telling me everything Bill Belichick great at and what won't happen under his watch. But I just watched Bill Belichick without a superstar quarterback, and I watched everything that happened under his watch. Meanwhile, I've been watching Mike Tomlin for the last couple years without a great quarterback. And look at what he's been able to do. So you telling me that if I give him what they got in Dallas, and I understand Bill is a defensive mind and all that, but I'm just going off of what I've seen the last couple years. And I understand Bill got the Super Bowls. He also had Tom fucking Brady. Okay? In my opinion, I would not fire Mike McCarthy. However, if I'm Dallas, and I don't know if Mike Tomlin got a great relationship with the Rooneys. They ain't never talked about firing that man. The only time I ever hear people talking about firing him, it never come from the organization. It always coming from a bunch of bullshit ass media members or a bunch of hating ass former Pittsburgh coaches who ain't as successful as Mike Tomlin. In my opinion, Mike Tomlin could get another ring if he went to Dallas, or he could at least get to another Super Bowl with Dallas. I just don't think the AFC is for Mike no more, because as great a coach as Mike Tomlin is, he going to get stuck in this rotation of being over 500 but being mediocre, because the Steelers ain't got a quarterback, and they're not going to lose enough games to get one. Now, what would be very interesting to me is if he go out and try to get Russell Wilson in the offseason and see if he can try to save Russell Wilson. See, this is the thing. Certain quarterbacks who might not be the same, I still trust them with Mike Tomlin for the simple reason Mike Tomlin is a damn great coach. Like, I don't want that to ever be misconstrued on this channel. I think Mike Tomlin is one of the top coaches in the NFL. What he has been able to do with the roster he done been given every year is insane to me. So if it's a coach that should be moving up to a better opportunity to me, it should be Mike Tomlin. If somebody gonna get that but this is the thing, bro, who the fuck wants to work for Jerry Jones, man? Like, I don't, why would Mike Tomlin, for one, I would never work for a white dude that said anybody who take a knee for police brutality gonna get fired. I could never work for Jerry Jones' white ass. Could never do it. I saw somebody say Jerry ain't been this mad since black people was allowed to vote. Yo, they be killing Jerry Jones and Nick Bosa with them race jokes, bruh. I remember when Nick was sitting beside Chase Young, and the caption was, you know what? You might be one of the all right ones. I wonder what Nick Bosa see when he see them those memes. I'm gonna tell you something. This is how you gonna know if Nick Bosa racist. If Nick Bosa ever laugh at those memes, full out racist. Because a man who not racist would immediately be pissed off about those memes. I ain't never heard Nick Bosa come out and say nothing against. Now I know some people be like, bruh, he don't got time to address that. I get that. But at some point in time, we're gonna find out how he feel about these memes. And he better say the right thing. He better say the right thing. He better than his brother. Off rip. He better than Joey. I don't know what's going on with Joey, bro. Joey can't stay healthy. I almost don't even want to call Joey a Bosa with the way Nick be playing. But if Joey get to a different team, because this could just be a Charger thing, bro. You know who I really want to get to another team next year, specifically to the Ravens? Khalil Mack. With the resurgence Khalil Mack just had, that's further proof that if you put him on a great team, he'll still have a great season for you. I would love to see Khalil Mack head to the Rams. I think the Rams should try to go get Khalil Mack or Baltimore. But Baltimore probably won't do it because they'll probably bring back Kyle Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney, which they should do, but they should still bring in Khalil Mack to come off the other side. I would not re-sign Odafe Oweh. I'll let him walk to another team. His production just has not been the production of somebody I'm finna spend too much bread on. To be quite frank with you, he played more like a rotational piece than a starter, but if you were to pay him like a starter, to me, that'd just be stupid. Just like I saw somebody tweet the Falcons could give up the 8th pick in the draft for Justin Fields. Bruh. What universe am I living in right now, bruh? Yo, what the fuck? Why would they do that? Why would you give up a 8th pick in the first round for Justin Fields? Bro, Justin Fields is not worth a first or a second. So if the Falcons trade away a first round pick for Justin Fields, that is just further shows you the incompetence of the NFC South. The Panthers gave away 2 firsts. They swapped their first and gave away a future first and DJ Moore to get Bryce Young. You could have gave all that up for Lamar Jackson. And now, if you the Falcons, the team that said Lamar Jackson wasn't better than Desmond Ridder, you finna give up a first round pick in the draft, the 8th pick, for a quarterback who I know ain't better than Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields. I'm never going to try to understand why some fans look at Justin Fields the way they do. Oh, he ain't getting the help, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. But I would love to see him not fail in Atlanta. I would love to see him in Atlanta because I know it ain't going to work. They're going to fail too. But I would love to see it because, I mean, he got weapons in Chicago. So, I mean, I guess if he playing in his hometown, the real thing to me is I think he could look worse in Atlanta because it is his hometown. See, people always think to themselves, oh, you get him in his hometown, he going to be comfortable, yada, yada, yada. He's a quarterback. The pressure he going to face in his hometown going to be way harder than the pressure he faced in Chicago. Because now you got motherfuckers that know you and know you from this area who depended on you to be the savior of the franchise. Motherfucker ain't saved a damn thing in Chicago, but sure, he gonna come to Atlanta and save everything for that 8th pick overall in the draft. The Falcons are fucking stupid if they actually do that. But with that being said, it was a long episode. I think we got a lot out. I think we get, let me pause. I've said a lot. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget nothing. The Demon Home, Draymond Green, of course. Draymond Green is like one of the only things we talk about basketball outside before basketball season start, bro. Because we never talk about nothing pertaining to basketball. You know how many stories that happened in the NBA this year that I have not talked about? Haven't talked about them at all. Basketball is not important during football season, bro. It's almost coming to a point where basketball not that important to me at all. That's why I can't wait to find people who can talk about basketball on the channel in a way that I find acceptable. And then I'll start letting them upload on the channel. But I'm not finna have people on here talking about basketball, just saying a bunch of stupid shit and being super biased. That's not going to happen. I'd rather keep talking about it myself, even though I don't enjoy talking about it. That's something y'all probably didn't even know about me. I do not enjoy talking about basketball all the time. Certain topics, yeah, I get up to talk about. But for me, I know basketball is only a holdover for football. Hell, for baseball sometimes. For any event that's not basketball, bro. I don't care about basketball to the playoffs and the All-Star break. I'm just be a whole band with you, bro, because NBA fans is irritating. I saw somebody post, bro, I saved up my whole tuition to go see Steph Curry play, and he sat out last night. Why didn't you go the last couple games? It's like, bro, I really wish something could happen with y'all motherfuckers tweeting out shit like that, bro, trying to make people feel sorry for you. You made a bad business decision. Shit happens. Period. The fuck? If I go to a game and I done spent well over money that I should not, for one, why would you be spending that type of bread to go watch them motherfuckers play the Grizzlies? Why would you be spending that type of bread to go see them play in the regular season at all? I mean, shit, you could have saved that to go see them play in the playoffs, even though they probably ain't making the playoffs, but I don't know, man. I don't like when fans tweet out shit like that. But nonetheless, with that being said, it's an 80-minute episode. I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. We will be back to break down the next round of the playoffs. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate all the love and support. Saint out.
Nobody can do it by himself.
Yeah.
He embodies that. Just real gritty, like, we about to come whoop your ass.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty ran track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home.